right, ladies and gentlemen, on the menu today, we have a bow, but not just any bow. This bow will really get under your skin with how good it is. See what I did there? Because the bow's name is Under Your Skin. Now, despite my awful humor, you should know that this bow will single-handedly turn you into a bow main, and I'm not even kidding. Like, I used to get questions all the time about my main bow, Accured Redemption, and I would always tell people that no other bow would ever replace it. Well, it's happened. Under Your Skin is my new main bow, and with the right perks, it's literally the best bow in the game, and it's not even close. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Under Your Skin and the best perks, aka the god roll, to be on the lookout for. But before we get started, if you're new, and only if you enjoy my videos or find them useful, then feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Okay, let's get into this bow. So starting us out, Under Your Skin is a precision frame void bow that is acquired via the new Psiops activity, Season of the Risen stuff. Now, like I mentioned in my Thoughtless video, you are able to directly purchase it at the war table in the helm upon unlocking the weapon decoding clearance upgrade. You will need to have the weapon in your collections, however. Now, having to hope for a god roll to drop for you is kind of irrelevant because you can just craft this bow at the Enclave. The pattern is acquired once you complete 3 deep sight resonance extractions, so instead of farming Psiops for the god roll, you're really farming for red borders. Also, don't forget that red borders can drop from just buying it, though from what I've heard, it's not too common. So now for the perks. First is the origin perk, Land Tank. Final blows with this weapon grant increased resilience and additional damage resistance from combatants. Overall, a pretty solid perk for keeping you alive and will be somewhat useful in high level content. Next is column 1, where we have 7 string options: agile bowstring, tactical string, elastic string, flexible string, high tension string, natural string, and polymer string. Now, when it comes to these first 2 columns on pretty much any weapon, you're mainly just looking for stat bumps and whatever stat is best. For bows, those stats would be draw time / reload and accuracy, with draw time taking priority. The most popular string for bows is elastic string, as it gives you the highest draw time bump, so like it's faster drawing it, although it does slightly reduce accuracy. Now, there is another option that is a tad more balanced, that being polymer string. It's going to speed up your draw time, but only about half as much as elastic, and instead of a hit to accuracy like elastic string has, it actually boosts your accuracy, although just very slightly. In my opinion, elastic is the way to go, but if you find that you can't hit your shots, consider switching to polymer. Now for column 2, where you got 6 perks: carbon arrow shaft, compact arrow shaft, fiberglass arrow shaft, helicals of fletch, I don't even know how to pronounce that, natural fletching, and straight fletching. Like I said, either accuracy or reload / draw time. Also wanted to quickly mention, if there's any new / returning players watching and that are a little confused, reload for a bow is how fast you knock the arrow. So like how fast you put the arrow into the bow after you've fired your last arrow. And draw time is how fast you pull the arrow back to actually, shoot it. I know it sounds super simple, but just in case anyone is confused about that. The number 1 pick for this column is compact arrow shaft, as it not only massively increases your reload speed, but also slightly increases your handling with no penalty to anything else. Your second option, if you're having problems with your accuracy, is straight fletching for just pure accuracy increase. Okay, so now for the spicy columns. First up, column 3, where you'll find 6 perks: firmly planted, unrelenting, hip fire grip, perpetual motion, tunnel vision, and archer's tempo. Now, I want to go ahead and get the title out of the way, okay? I'm not too sure what I'm going to make the title just yet, but it'll be something along the lines of like not Hush 2.0 or better than Hush, whatever it might be. Now, as you saw, this bow can get archer's tempo in this column, and as we all know, archer's tempo decreases the draw time after every precision hit. For the regular version of archer's tempo, it's around 20% faster, and for the enhanced version, it's around 25% faster. Now, these aren't like exact figures, but you get the point. Enhanced is slightly faster, and the other difference between the two is that the enhanced version lasts longer by about a second. I believe it goes from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. Essentially, anytime a precision frame bow has archer's tempo, people immediately start drawing comparisons to Hush, due to the fact that Hush was a precision frame and had a perk called Archer's Gambit, which massively increased draw speed after hip fire precision hits. But has anyone stopped and said, maybe Hush wasn't that good in the grand scheme of things and it was just fast? And yes, like, I know that having a fast bow can just straight up make it good, but you have other perks in other columns like successful warm-up in column 4 that also increased draw time. I feel like Archer's Tempo on bows is kind of like the outlaw of guns back in the day. It was just the default. Everyone got it. Nobody even looked at the other perks. And I'm not trying to sit here and just talk bad about Archer's Tempo, because sometimes it really is the only good perk in whatever column that it's in on that bow. But for under your skin, you have another perk that's just as good, if not better. This leads me to my number 1 pick for this column, which it's not Archer's Tempo if you couldn't tell already. It's Unrelenting. Unrelenting is going to trigger health regen after rapidly defeating 3 targets. Unrelenting, in my opinion, is massively underrated. It's very useful for all gameplay, whether casual play or high level play, as it increases your survivability. Being able to stay alive can separate you from being an average player and being a good player. And now you have a perk to help you with that. And even if you are looking to make this bow fast, you have other perks in other columns to help you with that. Like I mentioned, successful warm-up in column 4. Speaking of column 4, let's take a look at it. You got 6 perks: Turnabout, Explosive Head, Opening Shot, Dragonfly, Successful Warm-Up, and Adaptive Munitions. Let's go ahead and talk about successful warm-up because I've already mentioned it. This perk is going to increase draw time after each final blow. The increase is around 35% and it lasts for about 5 seconds. If you're looking to have a fast bow, then just take successful warm-up in this column, and then in column 3, instead of taking Archer's Tempo and just essentially wasting it, as we'll talk about in just a second, just take Unrelenting. Now, a lot of people, like I just mentioned, have been saying to pair Archer's Tempo in column 3 with successful warm-up here. And while that does massively speed up the draw time with the two together, it's something crazy like 50+%, it's just not useful. Like, at what point are you going to be needing to shoot that fast? Are you trying to DPS with this weapon or something? No, all right, because you should be doing that with your special/heavy weapon. If you want a fast bow that's going to keep healing you over and over again, Unrelenting in column 3, successful warm-up in column 4. Both require kills and synergize very well. Now, the next perk I want to talk about in this column is going to be Dragonfly. Right now, Dragonfly is kind of useless due to volatile rounds being in the game, but once they're gone, Dragonfly is going to become an amazing option for turning this bow into an ad clearing machine. Not to mention, it can also proc Unrelenting. So you get a precision kill, enemy blows up, killing a few more enemies along with it, and bam, you're ad clearing while instantly regaining your health. So right now, like I said, it's not needed, but in the future, it could be very top tier. And now the final perk that we're going to be looking at is going to be Adaptive Munitions. This perk is going to increase the weapon's damage to shields when the shield doesn't match the weapon's elemental type. And because this weapon is a void weapon, that means more damage versus arc and solar shields. Essentially, any shield in the game, even with match game on, is going to take 4 arrows or less to break. Now, in normal content, it's not really that useful, but in higher level content, it could be very, very useful. Now, I could say this means you don't have to adapt your loadouts to enemies' shields, but that'd just be stupid, as with match game on, having an elemental matching weapon is still going to be better, but having adaptive munitions as like a backup will be very good. Also, if you're running like a solo activity where you don't have teammates, then you don't have to worry too much about maybe sacrificing a certain weapon or a subclass just to be able to match the enemy shields in whatever activity you're doing. Like I said, this perk is a good backup or in-game solo play option, but that's about it. Under Your Skin is definitely the best bow in the game right now. Pairing Unrelenting with any column 4 perk is going to massively increase your survivability, but if you're set on using the fastest bow in the whole Wild West, then yeah, sure, get Archer's Tempo and successful warm-up, but please don't get the enhanced versions, as I guarantee after you use it, you'll realize that you just don't need that amount of speed for anything in the game and you're missing out on other perks. My go-to is going to be Unrelenting with successful warm-up and a volatile round build, but my secondary option is going to be Unrelenting with adaptive munition. I'll make up for the draw time via elastic string and compound arrow shaft along with a reload frame, because don't forget that elastic string pretty much maxes out this weapon's base stat draw time, so you can't really go any higher. But that is the Under Your Skin god roll, not Hush 2.0, all right? Much, much better than Hush. With all that being said, let me know down below what roll you've been able to get on this bow, or are you already able to craft it? If you are, then well, what roll did you craft? I'm curious what you all are rocking. Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, then feel free to drop a like, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.